Welcome to Pearman Fitness. We're at Studiomix in San Francisco, California. I'm Johnny.
And I'm Cambria. Today we're going to be talking about some quick releases for the traps, which so many of us are having problems with these days.
Yeah, you see people oftentimes grabbing and going, oh my God, it's so tight up here. But good news, Cambria has the answer to releasing that tension.
So grab a partner and let's get started. Hey guys, so before we get started, just a few notes. So we're going to be demoing with Johnny today, and he's going to have his shirt off. But if you're working on a female, just have him wear a nice razorback tank top like I'm wearing today, or a sports bra so you can access that whole muscle group. And we're going to also be doing these consecutively in order. But just know, a lot of people don't feel comfortable sitting in a seated position for that long. So you can break this up. Do one, have them stretch, take a break, come back, and then do the other so that you don't get too fatigued. All right, great, let's get started. To start, have your partner sit in front of you with their back facing you, and just have them do a few little shoulder rolls. Go ahead, yeah. Just loosen up the tissue, a few neck rolls. Take the neck over, down and up, other way, back and forth. Do a few more shoulder shrugs and releases just to get out that tension. And then go ahead and stand up right behind your partner. And you can have them have their feet bent, and you can have them have their legs bent with their knees in the air and their feet planted on the ground. And you want their feet hip width distance, so go ahead and narrow your knees a little bit and take your feet out. Great. And you can use your leg as a little kickstand behind them to encourage them to sit up really nice and tall. And also pay attention to the back of their neck. So if they're leaning forward, that's not going to be good. You want this area of the body to be nice and open. So you can even do like a light little traction here to encourage them to be nice and tall. And so now we can really see the entire muscle group we're working here, which are the traps. They go from the base of the skull out to the shoulders, down just below the scapulas here, or the shoulder blades. So I'm going to anchor my soft fist right on either side of that little vertebrae that protrudes out a little bit more than the others. It's called C7. And then with a nice soft fist, I'm going to just lean into my body and lean down into his back. And then Johnny, you're going to just tuck your chin down into your chest as much as you can. And when you've gone down as far as you can, let me know. Yep. Okay, then just start to curl your whole body forward. Imagine you're peeling away from my hands. This is a pretty good pressure, right, Johnny? Mm-hmm. Now just remember to keep your shoulders nice and relaxed and keep curling forward. Try not to pull too much, pull with your hands. Really try to let the peeling come from you curling your head down and curling your chest forward. And keep going just a little bit further. You might even fall between your legs a little bit. Good. You're going to come all the way to the bottom of the traps, which is going to be just below the shoulder blades. And then you're just going to slide right off. And so instead of them just coming up really quickly, encourage them to roll back up. So push into here, push into here, push into here, and come back up and reset. So place the hands on the knees, relax the shoulders. Then you're going to take your fists and hold them a little bit closer to the spine. So the first one was a little bit further out, about an inch out on each side. And this one's going to be right next to the vertebrae. And so then you're just going to do the same thing again. Go ahead and tuck your chin, curl it down, shoulders relaxed, nice deep breaths, and then curl the spine forward, peeling away from my hands. You can really get right above this so you can lean your whole body weight into it. Curling down, let your body drop a little bit between your thighs, great. Remembering to keep a nice soft fist, or this is going to feel pretty intense. Good. Come just below the scapulas and release. Encourage them to peel themselves back up. Great. So then taking your hands and hooking them behind your head, and you can let your knees fall out. Engage the abs so you can sit up nice and straight. And when you do that first one, you're probably gonna feel some nice tight spots where it went clunk, 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 more on one side than the other side. For Johnny, it's the right side. And so with this one, you can focus a little bit more on those areas you felt, or you could just go down the same way you did before. But either way, I'm going to start at the same place, right next to that C7. And Johnny, I'm gonna have you bring your elbows so that they meet in front of you, keeping the fingers hooked behind your back. Great. And then open them up. So this is like, I'm gonna do a series of tiny compressions. So I'm gonna hold here, I'm gonna have him close and open and close. And as he closes, I can kind of move down a little bit, still staying on the trap and not going any further down. Yeah, good. As you get further down, it's gonna be harder to have both hands, so you can kind of use one hand if it's really tight in there. Good. And with right here, Johnny, think about tilting the rib cage up and creating a tiny little arch right here. Oh, good. And pull the elbows inward. And release. Now this is an area you can actually spend quite a bit of time on. So if you communicate with your partner, that if they're like, oh, there was that one spot, you could have stayed there all day, go back to it, kind of anchor your body down into it and have them do some movement with their arm, play around with trying to get the muscle open and stretched away or open into the back. Be explorers. Great. And then release that, Johnny. And then go ahead and put your legs back to how they were at the beginning. Hands on the kneecaps. And you can just come up right behind him and just plop your soft fist right into the top of the shoulders. So this is another area of the trap that gets really, really tight on people. So Johnny, I can support his back by keeping my leg behind him, or if they feel pretty straight, you can just stay right where you were to have a little bit more of leverage. I think I'll support him a little bit here. And then all you're gonna do, Johnny, is just keeping your hands right where they are, just open your elbows and lift them. And you're gonna be pushing down. Now you don't want them to, if you feel like they're efforting a lot through the traps, that means they're really tight. And so encourage them to make sure that the top of the shoulder stays really soft and you're just moving the elbows up. Good. And down. Now you can have a little bit of a slide outwards towards the outside of the shoulder, but you're gonna try to compress down more than you can press out. You can come up right next to the neck. And then you can work your way all the way out right before you hit the bone on the outside of the shoulder. Great. Now just let your knees fall out to the sides, and you can just take your palms and palm back and forth. This is really soft. You're just taking all that tissue that you just softened and giving it a little love, saying thank you for releasing today. And actually, Johnny, you can just plant your hands in front of you. Go ahead and stand up and then just lean into your partner, going back and forth all along that trap, just to complete the session. And if it's accessible to your partner, you can just go ahead and sit down and have them sit up and reach their arms back behind them. Great. And they can have their legs long in front of them. And you're just going to take your feet and you're going to place them in a little bit of a triangle, or a little with your toes pointed towards the top, right in between the shoulder blades. And you're going to push into their back and stretch their arms back. Now you can think about pushing their arms together slightly and then pulling back. They're gonna get a nice big stretch along the chest. And this is gonna feel great for the bottom of the traps. Nice big breath in. Tilt your rib cage up a little bit. And drop your head, shake it out. Great. Good job. Shake it loose. Awesome.
Yeah, if you want your spouse or your friends to love you, learn how to do these releases. They're really quick. And again, just like you talked about earlier, you don't have to do the whole sequence. You can pick what you like out of there. A quick touch for a minute or two makes a huge, huge difference at the end of the day. Thanks for joining Touch to Know. I'm Johnny.
I'm Cambria.
Leave comments below and we'll bring more body work to you, right?
Body work to the table, to the floor.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.